Imagine stepping back into the 1600s, when Amsterdam wasn't just a city, it was the richest, most powerful place on earth. Canals buzzing with ships from every corner of the globe, merchants richer than kings, and fortunes made in a single day. This was the Dutch Golden Age, the era when one small watery city ruled the world. For centuries, these moments lived only in faded engravings and dusty drawings. But today, cutting-edge AI revives them, breathing color, motion, and life into history. Get ready. We're walking straight into 17th century Amsterdam. Let's go back to when this city changed everything. Our journey begins on the serene banks of the Amstel River, just south of the city in the village of Ouderkerk, around 1622. This peaceful pastoral scene shows the very lifeblood of Amsterdam, the river that gave the city its name. Families relax by the water, fishermen mend nets, small boats drift lazily across the calm surface. Centuries before, a simple dam on the Amstel birthed the city itself. This river was Amsterdam's highway to the world, carrying grain from the countryside, timber from the Baltic, and goods from inland straight to the ports and out to every continent. In the distance stands the Ouderkerk church tower, final resting place for many wealthy Amsterdam merchants. But this tranquility wouldn't last. As Amsterdam's wealth exploded, these quiet riverbanks gave way to massive fortifications, sprawling warehouses, and unstoppable urban growth. Now shift to the city's outer edge, the imposing Haarlemmerpoort, or Haarlem Gate. These massive earthen ramparts and star-shaped bastions formed Amsterdam's unbreakable shield. The Dutch were deep in the brutal 80 Years' War against Spain 1568-1648, fighting for independence. Amsterdam was a prime target, and these walls were literally life or death. Look closely. Those windmills on the ramparts aren't for grinding grain. They're pumping water out. Amsterdam lies below sea level, and keeping the city from drowning was an endless war against nature. The famous Dutch saying sums it up perfectly. God made the world, but the Dutch made the Netherlands. By the mid-1600s, the city was bursting at the seams, expanding so fast these walls were rebuilt multiple times. Amsterdam grew outward in perfect concentric rings. The Herengracht, Keizersgracht, and Prinsengracht, the legendary canal belt that still defines the city today. From the gate, we glide into the old harbour basin, with St. Anthony's Poort, Namtal, Anthony's Gate looming in the background. This bustling inner harbour teemed with the workhorses of everyday trade, barges, fishing boats, canal vessels, not the grand ocean-going ships, but the ones that kept the city alive. Fresh fish from the Zuiderzee, timber from the Baltic, grain from Dutch farmlands all flowed through here with incredible efficiency. Amsterdam's secret weapon? Organization. Goods transferred from seagoing vessels to canal boats in record time, making the city a logistics masterpiece. Now we reach the main harbour, the beating heart where the ocean kissed the city. A forest of masts stretches to the horizon. Each ship carried a fortune, spices from the Moluccas, silk from China, furs from Russia, sugar from Brazil, timber from Scandinavia. Amsterdam didn't make much itself. It mastered being the world's middleman. Buy low, sell high. The guardhouse standing watch wasn't just security, it enforced strict rules. Every ship paid fees, got inspected, followed regulations. Dominating this scene was the Dutch East India Company, the VOC, founded in 1602. the world's first multinational corporation and the first to issue public shares. At its peak, it employed nearly 70,000 people. This harbour was its lifeline. These two massive blockhouses guard the southern approach along the Amstel, built in 1651 as defence and customs posts. They protected Amsterdam's riches from Spanish armies, rival cities and English fleets. The city was at its zenith, but storms were brewing. The First Anglo-Dutch War erupted just a year later. Trade never stopped though. Boats still passed between them. But come winter, everything changed. The Amstel froze solid, turning the scene into a playground. Merchants and labourers glided on ice, celebrating in legendary winter festivals. Trade slowed, but joy and community flourished, a reminder that Amsterdam was more than money. It was alive. Welcome to the Newmarkt, dominated by the magnificent De Waag, the Way House. Originally St. Anthony's Port, it was repurposed in 1617 as the public Way House and Guildhall. Every major transaction, cheese, grain, gold, spices, had to be weighed here for fairness and taxes. Upstairs, guilds met, surgeons, masons, painters. This is where Rembrandt set his famous anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicolaes Tulp. The square exploded with life. Market stalls, canal boats loaded with goods. By the mid-1600s, Amsterdam had built a powerhouse system, merchant courts, a central bank for global transactions, and institutions like De Waag for trust and standardization. Free market capitalism plus smart rules, that's what made Amsterdam unbeatable. From the market's energy, we arrive at the elegant Clovenius-Bergwall Canal and the jaw-dropping Trippenhuis, finished in 1662. Home to the Tripp brothers, arms dealers who profited massively from the 80 Years' War. This was wealth on full display. Canal houses weren't just homes, they were statements. The Trippenhuis, with its 8 grand Corinthian columns, was one of the widest, rare in a city taxed by frontage. Inside, marble halls, gilded ceilings, priceless art. These canals were no accident, deliberate, mathematical urban planning. Unlike chaotic medieval cities, Amsterdam's 17th century expansion created thousands of perfect plots for merchants and elites who commissioned masterpieces. From Rembrandt and Vermeer. Here stands the Amsterdam Exchange, designed by Hendrik de Keyser and opened in 1611, the birthplace of modern global finance. Step into this courtyard, merchants from every nation shouting prices, trading not just goods but shares, futures, bills of exchange. The world's first true stock exchange. When the VOC issued shares in 1602, they traded here, creating liquidity. Investors cashed out without waiting for ships to return. Amsterdam invented short selling, options, speculative futures, and suffered the world's first big bubble, tulip mania, in 1637, when single bulbs sold for insane prices before crashing. Open to anyone with capital, it made Amsterdam the undisputed financial capital. Finally, Dam Square, the absolute soul of Amsterdam. Built on the original dam that named the city, by the 1600s it was civic, commercial, and social epicenter. The Grand Town Hall, now Oil Pala, housed the burgomasters and council who ran the city like a well-oiled machine. Amsterdam was a republic inside a republic. No king, just merchants holding the purse strings of Europe. The square pulsed, markets, announcements, festivals, even public executions. Diversity everywhere, wealthy merchants, East Indies sailors, servants, soldiers, beggars. Population exploded from 50,000 in 1600 to over 200,000 by 1650, one of Europe's biggest cities. Rising above it all, the Westerkerk and its soaring Westertoren Tower, 85 meters tall, the highest point in 17th century Amsterdam. Completed in 1631 by Hendrik de Keyser, it's Dutch Renaissance at its peak, a Protestant church reflecting Calvinist values. Austere inside, focused on sermons, no Catholic excess. And here, in 1669, Rembrandt van Rijn was buried. The artist who immortalized the Golden Age, now resting beneath this beacon. And that's our journey through 17th century Amsterdam, a city born from water, rising to rule the world through trade, innovation, and sheer ambition. Thanks to AI, these frozen engravings now live again. Want more? Drop in the comments which city or era you'd love revived next. It could be in our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back in the past. Subscribe and hit the bell.